Merry meet guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Houston. For those of you who are new to my channel, I welcome you. Welcome to my spiritual sanctuary, I guess you could say. Um, my kind of going on a late night rumble or a ramble. Rumble. I'm not gonna like beat you up or anything. Ramble. I wanted to talk about my business page, which is my spiritual business. It is called Liramir Spiritual Um, Gatherings. Liramir is my magical name. It is Elvish for the lovely one. My sister and my best friend gave that to me when I was in high school, and it it stuck with me ever since. I also go by Wolfie in some terms. That's why it says in my channel Houston Wolfie Hallman. Um, and the reason why I have that as one of my magical names, or one of many names or nicknames you can call me, um, is because my first spirit animal was the wolf, and he is one of my primary guides. And I've connected really deeply with him over the years since I've started practicing, and I've connected with other spirit animals as well. But he stands out amongst everyone else, being the one who led me to this path and guided me and protected me when um, I needed guidance and protection. Um, but that's not everything I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of things. It's more like a, not really a what's up with me, but just a talk. I just want to talk. So, like I said earlier, my spiritual business is Liramir Spiritual Gatherings. I do have a Facebook page. I will post that link of the Facebook page in the description box below. And on my Facebook page, I post things that I find interesting spiritually. I also do tarot readings. I do oracle readings, clairvoyant readings, psychic readings. I am a certified angel therapist, and I am working. Um, it's kind of hard to do online Reiki. I am also a Reiki practitioner, um, and is a lot of different other healing modalities as well, like Shambhala, um, shamanic healing, and Blue Star Celestial Energy System healing. That's more of the higher vibrational. Just Shambhala is also higher vibrational as well. I think all of the Reiki, different systems and keys of Reiki are very high vibrational energy workings, or energy healing modalities at least. I do those as well, but it's hard for me to say that I can do a Reiki session online because it's not saying that I can't do stuff distantly. It's not that at all. Um, I prefer, me personally, to have someone sitting in front of me and we talk one on one. And I do Reiki, have them on the table, on my massage table, or in a chair, and do Reiki hands on. Um, I do distance work for friends and family, but when someone comes to me that I may not know, and it's different for that reason because I don't have the connection that I do with friends and family. Um, but that's not saying that I couldn't make the connection. Um, I just don't want to put that I'm doing online Reiki healing and I don't want to be seen as a scam artist. So I broadcast different techniques in Reiki. I am able to attune others. I like to, or for the attunements, and those who are interested in Reiki, I'll give you information on Reiki and what you can look up, and possibly how you can find someone in your local area to do it, to be attuned to it. But Reiki is this energy system that you have to be attuned to through a master. It took me 5 years to get my master's degree, my master's teacher and healer level. But I mean, it can take people less than that. It just depends on your discipline and your practice. Reiki has been life changing for me, um, especially life changing for me. Um, and it goes along with everything else I've been studying. I've been studying um, a lot of different things. I'm a bookworm, and I'm going to, truthfully, now, the past couple of days, I've been called to put down all of my books except for one, and I have it on my bed. Put down all my books except for one and start over from the beginning, because I feel like, and I think everyone goes through this phase. It's not just me, and I know that everyone goes through this phase where you're just like, whoa, hold up. I'm taking in way too much information, and my practice is getting confusing. And it makes me, when my practice gets this way, it happens a lot. This is not the first time it's happened to me. It's happened a lot over the years that I've practiced, and I've only been practicing for 8 years now. So I mean, it hasn't been long, and I've studied a lot. And if you see my library, which I can show you that, give me 1 second. So if you see my library, I have my altar, and there's books and stuff on the floor that I'm reading. Well, reading and going through. And then there's my bookshelf, all my pagan books, and a fashion drawing book because I like to draw, and I took a fashion class in college. But on top of that is one of my altars. It's kind of messy, but that's how I work. I don't. It's not that I'm addicted to materialistic things. It's just that when I see magic and when I think of magic, I will create a space that's completely clean and completely clear. But the altar up there has many representations of and different things that I've gathered along my journey, and things that represent me and my practice. Okay, if you guys can see, I don't know if you can. If you can see, there is, getting up here somewhere, there is Zeus right there in the corner. I have all the three brothers, Zeus, and then there is, you know what, let's go here. We're getting it up. So, I have Zeus, I have a little wizard statue back here, I don't know if you can see that. Then I have a Halloween little thing that I got from the thrift store. I have my oil burner. I have a candle burner that I associate with my ancestors, as well as a Day of the Dead statue. I have Hades back here, and then I have a lot of other knickknacks. I have a candle holder with a pumpkin in it, or a pumpkin candle holder, I should say. I have a little angel back here that I can put a candle in. And then I have different scrying orbs. Right here I have black glass, a quartz crystal, which was given to me by my boss. And I'm very thankful for the job that I work in. And I do have to say, excuse the mess. It's just how I practice. Then I have another clear quartz crystal that's completely clear cut. I don't know if this is quartz or if it's glass, but it works just the same. I have the triple goddess statue. That was my first statue that I ever bought. I also have up here one of a fairy pendant that my sister's mother, she's like my second pagan mom, or my pagan mom. And then I have representation of the elements in things that I found, the skulls. These are representation of the elements. So earth, air, water, and fire. I think that's right. Earth, air, water. Got it backwards. Earth, air, water, and fire. So yeah, that's my little altar setup. I just wanted to show you guys because I don't really get, in my videos, I don't really get, back on my bed, it squeaks. I don't really get too personal, and I don't show a lot of my stuff just because I'm using my computer. I don't like to use my cell phone because I haven't really figured out my new cell phone on how to shoot video and it not cut off on me, because I like to ramble. And I have a lot of other altars as well, and that one I don't mind sharing. I use that, like I said, I use it to for many purposes, and I may get backlash for this, but I do clean it. It's not like that all the time, but I revere a lot of my spiritual family on that altar, and I have another one as well. I have two separate altars for spiritual family, that being one of them. And when I say spiritual family, I mean the deities that I've worked with and that are still present in my life, such as Zeus, Hades, Poseidon. I have one out front. I have my altar out front that's dedicated completely to Poseidon. It's a whole shelf with nothing but aquatic and ocean themed. I have a statue. I have mermaid statues. I have seashell candles. I have beach sand and seawater. I think. No, I have to get more seawater. I live near the beach. I don't know why I don't go out there often. Oh, it's because it's summer and I don't like people. That's right. Um, And traffic here in Charleston sucks, especially this time of year around the beach. So I usually go in the off season, like around fall or winter, and go collect my water. Um, but I don't believe, for me, and I mean it could be out of my belief, that a messy altar equals a messy life. I don't I don't believe that. That's just me. This is how I work. When I see things, when I think of an altar or a sanctum sanctorium of the wizard, I identify myself really strongly with the archetype of the wizard. Um, I see it being messy with research and books and oracle cards and crystal balls and crystals and candles half lit, half burnt down, and oil burners that have been used and just haven't been cleaned because he's too busy working on a new formula or a new way of working magic. That's what I incorporate. That, if that makes any sense, that is my practice. I see myself as a wizard for an extent. I just like the terminology. I work with a lot of different, like I was saying before, I worked with the three Greek brothers. I work with, fortunately, I think that's the only Greek aspect that I can think of at the moment that I work with. The three Greek brothers, because I have Poseidon's trident on my arm. Um, I love the sea. I love, working with the elements of the beach. But I don't like being out there with so many people. I just find the energy of the beach to be very calming and very relaxing and rejuvenating and powerful. But when there's so many other people out there, I can't sense those energies and I can't tap into the power of the ocean and the beach and the connection of water and earth. Excuse me. I don't know why, but Gatorade's making me burp. And behind me, you'll see, this way, you'll see two different dream catchers and an Indian quote. I pull, also, a lot of my practice is shamanic. I think it's very, two different spectrums, the spectrum of the wizard and the spectrum of the shaman, where things can be extremely formulated and complex and precise, to where shamanism can be that way too. I'm not saying that it can't. And wizardry can be, simple folk magic and healing and protection and things like that. But when I think of shaman, I think of the wounded warrior and working with internal struggles and working with internal battles to heal oneself and to help heal others in the community. When I think of myself as a wizard, I am also helping other people, but I am not going as deep as the shaman would. When I invoke the shaman aspect of my practice, I am going deeper and deeper into myself and self-reflection, like shadow work, to figure out and heal what is going on in my body, what is going on in my mind, and and to gain new allies and new friends and meet with the allies that I've met with. And in wizardry, I can call on those allies and they can help me with my spell work. It's almost like the path of the witch, but I see myself more as a wizard than I do as a witch. I really do hope this is all making sense. It's kind of a late night ramble. Today was, if you have me on Facebook or Instagram, it wasn't really a good day for me. So I just wanted to have some positive and talk about a little bit about my practice and how I do things, and a little bit of a kind of a ramble. Not really a rant, but a ramble, because I'm not ranting about anything. But so I have this thing now. I just finished a shamanic healing course that was an online course that it was very good information. And I'm not bashing the people who did it, because I took 2 other courses through them, a tarot course and an angel therapy course, which I knew tarot, or I was pretty well familiar with tarot already, and I was dipping my fingers into the waters of the angels before, and now I have a deeper understanding, and it will continue to grow as I continue to study. But the shamanic healing course wasn't what I thought it would be. I mean, I gained amazing information. There's some information that I did not know, that I did not find in books that I've read, and that I did not understand completely, because the books didn't understand. And they um, put it in a way where it was simple for me to understand. But some of the aspects of the class um, kind of made it seem like a bleh. But then again, I think that's with every class and every book. You're not going to agree, and I didn't agree with everything that they said about the class, or everything they said about shamanic healing. I did not agree with, everything. Some things I agreed with, and some things are like, okay, yeah, of course, that's what I do. That's how things work. That's how things go. But some things were like, what the fuck? Excuse me? I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And I went to go Google research some of the things, which I know you can't rely on Google, but age of the internet, I went to go check, and I pulled up blank, nothing. So I was like, okay, fine, maybe that's just their way of doing things, and that's cool. That's totally cool, but it didn't resonate with me. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna push that aside and do what works for me. And there's a lot of books I have that are like that. Um, and there's also been a lot of courses that are like that as well, but you have to go through, and this one you had to go through each chapter, and at the end you had to answer questions. And that's kind of how you pass the class, to an extent. It's an at-home class. Take your time. For me, I wanted to get it over. I wanted to get through it as much as possible. Not really as soon as possible, but I wanted to be able to um, get through it all, read through it all, and absorb the information, and not just have it sit there and I put it on the back burner and forget about it, because that's usually what happens. When I lose, I wanted to keep my interest in it, because if I lose interest in something, um, it'll usually just sit on that bookshelf I just showed you, and it won't go any further than that. And I didn't want that to happen, especially for a class that I paid for and was getting something out of it. Um, so yeah, okay. So back to who I work with, or who I call on, or things like that. I pull from many different pantheons. I was saying earlier, the Greek pantheon, the three brothers. Um, I work with them. I always think they're always watching over me in some form or way, and they're always teaching me a lesson, um, especially today. But wasn't a fun lesson. Um, but also, instead of just not just the Greek, but the Celtic pantheon rings very true. Um, a lot of the deities, or a lot of the archetypes in the pantheon of Greek and Avalon, I don't. Those are two different pantheons. I feel ring true to me. Caradwyn, um, the goddess of the witches in the Celtic pantheon, um, she has called out to me, and I've worked with her for a while, um, and I've always felt connected to Cernunnos. And I do have to backtrack. I do work also. I have worked, and I do feel their presence with Gaia and Pan, which is like another aspect of Cernunnos, but in the Greek mythology, I feel, and the Green Man, or the Man of the Forest, the Hunter of the Wild type of thing. Yeah, I work with those. Um, Now, as for like the Nordic pantheon, I truthfully, I haven't done a lot of research with the Nordic pantheon, um, and also the some of the Chinese pantheon has piqued my interest, or the Japanese. I think it's Chinese. It's Chinese. Some of the Japanese and Chinese, both of them, the pantheons and the group of deities and spirits that are in Chinese and Japanese mythology. Those have really piqued my interest, but I have not started to work with them. Also, icons in pop culture. I did a video on this before. It was called "What Do You Think?" Part 1 and 2, and that was basically talking about working with pop icons. And I don't mean pop like music. I meant like icons that are more current. In like the movies we see, the books we read, or things of that nature. And for me, it was working with Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians. And he's been at a. I've tried working with him, and I've made contact because when I feel that when something is put into production, and like a movie, let's say Kung Fu Panda, I'll just spit out Kung Fu Panda because I watched that last night. So let's say when Kung Fu Panda is put out in a movie, there's a lot of thought and energy put behind each and every character of that movie, whether they be the villain or the hero Po or Kung Fu Tigress, whatever. There's a lot of thought, and it brings that character or that essence of that character alive in the astral plane. My beliefs only. You don't have to agree with me, and that's totally cool. But I feel that you can draw on and work with. Let's say you wanted to work with Tigress, the tiger style kung fu. Work with her fierceness, her toughness, her boundaries that she puts up. Because she does, in the movie, she does have a lot of emotional boundaries that she puts up to protect herself from getting hurt again. And to make her seem more stronger and more tough and more because she is a woman martial artist. But I don't think that's the only thing. But if you wanted to work with Tigress, that you can just put out there in meditation that you call upon and you visualize the image of Tigress, and you talk, you speak, and you say, you introduce yourself. This is how I do it. I introduce myself to the spirit or to the energy that I want to work with. I introduce myself, and I ask them. I introduce myself, tell them a little bit about myself. I think that's just common courtesy when working with spirits anyway, just for me. And I ask them if they are willing to work with me for a particular reason. Let's say I wanted to, we'll go with Tigress again. So I wanted to meet Tigress. I would say, greetings, Tigress. My name is Liramir. I am a wizard on the pagan path, and I am looking to create boundaries in my life to help me stop others from crossing that line. With me being an empath, to stop for them crossing that line where I don't feel uncomfortable. I can go out and be social. I can, do all these things that it's really hard to do when you're an empath as well. So she would, you would have a dialogue back and forth between them, and a lot of people think that it's all in your head, and that's okay. If you feel that this energy is just in your mind, you will embody that energy, and you'll be able to create those boundaries yourselves, and you will feel that Tigress has helped you. You kind of almost invoke the essence of Tigress. I know that was kind of a really vague way of explaining it, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do that people say that no, you can't do that. That's kind of that's impossible, or that's improbable. That doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? But it's your practice. Why let other people tell you what to do? Hell, people. I'm not gonna go there. The flying fucking spaghetti monster. People have a belief in that, and I'm not downing it. I'm not downing it at all. I'm just saying anything is possible. You can believe in anything you want. Don't let anyone tell you not to. For the other spirits or entities that I work with the archangels and angels in general. More incorporately, I work with Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael. Those are my two main archangels. I pull on the other 5. There are there's multiple archangels, but the main 7 for the 7 chakras is what I learned, and there was 2 of them that I didn't, or 3 of them that I didn't even know. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I've been trying to incorporate their energies into my life, and it's been an interesting play. I also work with the aspect of Buddha, um, the laughing Buddha, and Hotai, um, and then I work with Ganesh and my spirit family and my spirit guides. Um, there's a lot of things that I incorporate in my practice. My practice isn't set in stone. It's always changing and always evolving. I do what feels right for me, um, and it works. You know, I have doubted my magic here and there, you know, when things have gotten tough and you kind of get depressed and in your head, you know, that's when you just have to say, you know what, I let go. I'm, that's, I gotta, you have to, at that point in time, when you get too deep in your head, in your mind, and you get depressed, um, I feel that that's when your magic is not going to work in the best. So you need to go inside, at least myself. I'm not, for me, I have to go inside myself and say, why am I depressed? Write it down. Why am I depressed? Why am I stressing? What am I stressing about? And then, why am I stressing about this? You know, and I journal. I write in my journal, why am I doing it? Just getting it out. Not just speaking it, but having it on paper so you can go back later and say, this is why. This is my ground reason why I'm doing this. You know, it could be something from your childhood. It could be something from, you know, hell, your college days or whatever. It could just be an insecurity that you feel that maybe you don't have rooted in this lifetime. I do believe in past lives as well. So it could be something from a past life that you feel that needs to be released. And with shadow work and writing everything down, you're able to pinpoint what you're having a problem with and let it go. Or not let it go, but embrace it and say, you know what, this is me. So I know I talked about a lot of things in this video, but I wanted to share with you guys what my practice and what makes me me and how I practice to an extent. At least a little bit. You just touched a little bit of the iceberg. But this was almost a 30-minute long video. So with that being said, if you have any questions to me about my practice or how I do certain things or what do I do specifically or about a certain situation, you know, it's kind of hard to answer what I do specifically because there's a wide variety of things that I do practice magically. So, I mean, if you have something specific you want to know more about, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to do a video on that, explaining what I do, how I do it, and things of that nature. Also, if you just want to know more about me and or like seeing these videos, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to keep going. Day in the life of me. You know, a lot of witches on here doing that, and I think it's a cool thing to jump aboard on. Just the day in the life of me. So this is one of the start to those. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and made it through my 30 minutes of chitter chatter. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. And if you haven't subscribed already, you should subscribe to Witches of the Moon. I am their Wednesday host on Witches of the Moon this season for season 6, and we have just started up this week. We are talking about the element of spirit. I will link our channel, the Witches of the Moon channel, below in my description box. Is there something else I'm supposed to link in there? There's supposed to be something else, but I can't remember what it was. That's sad. I'll have to go back and look at the video. But I also have, if I said I have something like put in the description box below, I will link it down in the description box below. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. And with that, I bid you many blessings. Blessed be, guys.